Using force might feel really effective for you until it doesn't. So, force often works at first if you're stronger than your partner, and that's why it's so tempting to use. Let's dive in. So, first of all, if you're stronger than your partner, then force produces immediate results that seem positive. So, things seem to work, and then your confidence rises, and then you have reinforced whatever movement that is and this mentality of forcing your partner. So that feedback seems like positive feedback because the person fell down. I often tell my students, don't judge your success by whether your partner falls down or not. And don't judge failure by whether your partner doesn't fall or does fall, right? So if you're the smallest, weakest person in the dojo, actually you're in luck because you can't force anybody to do things. Everybody's stronger than you. So this is really, really a huge advantage. It can be extremely frustrating the first years, but it turns into a big advantage long term. When you're the strongest person, the huge challenge is that you have to police yourself. And you don't get anybody challenging you, or maybe not very much. So be very careful to not force things, because there will be a day when there's somebody bigger, stronger, younger, faster, whatever. And then if you've embodied the habit of forcing people, it'll be really hard to get rid of that habit. Hey, sorry to interrupt the video, but some of you have been asking how you can get a copy of my book, The Teacher. The book includes a wide range of topics, including from horseback riding to Budo, the Japan experience and returning home, building intuition, attracting new students to Aikido, Aikido and nonviolence, leading by example, women in Aikido, arrogance, saying no to homogenization in Aikido, Aikido and distance teaching, body alignment, and more and more. So if you haven't purchased a copy of the book and you would like to, just head to leah-suzuki.com/book or use the link in the YouTube description below. It's available in English, and it's even available in Italian, actually. That's just on Amazon. And the book has, let me show you a little bit of this book. A photo of me when I first started. Can you see it? Is it showing up? Some photos of my teacher, Takeda Shihan. My first teacher, Bill Gleason Sensei in Boston. And some of you might recognize that's Gary Small Sensei taking ukemi there. More casual setting with myself and Takeda Shihan back in the 80s, hence the crazy hair. Another one of my favorite photos of Takeda Shihan. One of my favorite photos of Yamaguchi Sensei. And there I am teaching a seminar at my dojo in Hollywood. Just a regular photo shoot, actually, from a regular class. Teaching in Hollywood Dojo. Oh, wow. My friend Brandon Ishisaka Sensei, I believe that's me training with his daughter, who now I think is like 16 years old. Anyway, she's super cute, huh? And she's doing great. She's still training. If you haven't gotten the book and you'd like to get one, just look in the description below this video, and there's a link there that you can click on to order your copy. Now let's get back to the video. Analyze it later. So be very careful. You will find that if you go down this path of using force and relying on force, eventually your progress will stall. Eventually you'll have some injuries. You'll be getting injured more than other people. And well, you might be injuring the people that you train with too, depending on how much control you have. And a big thing, and you might not think that this is important, but I think it's extremely important. The big thing, if you really practice just forcing people, your sensitivity decreases, or you'll never develop sensitivity in the first place. So these are the disadvantages of using force. Letting go of this tendency to force your partner requires trust. It requires the trust that the technique really will work if you loosen up and don't force things. Your teacher just said, like, oh, it'll work if you do it like this. If you're a really strong person, you're not used to letting things happen physically. You're used to making things happen, most likely. So if you can see technique sort of like a Rube Goldberg machine, you know, these things where like you put a marble, you put a ball at the top of a ramp, it goes down the ramp, it hits a bell, the cat hears the bell, comes, eats the food gets lighter, the scale goes up, and you know, that kind of thing, like a pinball machine. If you can see techniques in that way, that like, oh, okay, the attacker comes in like that, if I don't push him, control him, I can let him bounce off of me in this way. Things like that, that can help. So that'll help you trust the process. If you've been watching my videos, you've probably noticed that I sometimes use Shoto, or short sword. I find that it helps students drop their shoulders, stop pushing, and really feel the technique. Right now, I have a limited number of these Suzuki signature Shoto available. They're made in Japan from premium Japanese white oak. They're engraved with my signature, and they're really beautifully balanced. Because of the lumber shortage in Japan, I was only able to get a small batch of them. So once these are gone, that's it for the time being. So if you'd like one, click the link below to reserve yours. During the checkout process, you'll be prompted to let me know which seminar you'll attend, and then I'll bring it right to you. Now let's get back to the video. So you need to trust the guidance of your teacher. You need to trust the process of how these techniques are set up. And then you need to trust repetition, right? And I've had some extremely strong people in my dojo, and I always have so much admiration for them. I've never had a super strong person as an ongoing student who did not trust my guidance, trust the process, and trust in the repetition. And I've always had so much admiration for that because, like I said, they don't get that feedback of getting stuck. They have to build their sensitivity if they want to get rid of using force and just use their muscles in a healthy way. Then they have to police themselves and they have to be on the alert for any kind of resistance that they feel, right? Because nobody can totally stop them if they're ridiculously strong. If you catch yourself using force a lot, a really helpful thing is to go to seminars. And if you can go to seminars outside of your own affiliation and style, that's like really good. Can be scary. Or if it's a seminar where they have mixed styles, which, by the way, I'll be having one of those at my dojo in Los Angeles at the end of May. 3 different teachers from 3 different styles. This is really good because then you find new people that you've never trained with before. Maybe there's somebody who's your own size or bigger, and it's such a fantastic learning opportunity. So I would really recommend that you try that. In conclusion, just because your partner fell down doesn't necessarily mean that you did the technique right or that you did the technique well. You might be forcing them. So whenever you train with somebody smaller than you, weaker than you, really, really look at yourself. Really, really check to see if there was any tension in the movement at all. And then see if you can do it with less and less and less tension, less and less of even a hint of resistance from them. If you'd like to train with me in person, I've got some seminars coming up. I'll be teaching in Taiwan next weekend, the 21st and the 22nd in Taipei and Kaohsiung. And then I'll be teaching in Kumamoto, Japan, the 27th through the 29th. I also have a seminar coming up in Los Angeles, as I mentioned earlier, the May 28th through 31st. That'll be with Ikeda Sensei, myself, and Bruno Gonzalez Sensei. It'll be a 4-day immersive program. We do it every year with different instructors. And then I'll be in the UK and Ireland in June, and I'll be in Germany and perhaps some other places in September. I'll be in Shanghai the last weekend of August, and I'll be in Montana in October, and also Redlands, California in October. So there are a couple of places that I might be forgetting, but please join me somewhere at some point in person. Let's train together. Thanks so much for tuning in. Bye-bye.